calling for this Kassadin to come online. I don't think the KOO Tigers are going to be able to weather the storm of SKT.
Let's compliment KOO for the one thing they pulled off. They knew they had a really tenuous matchup in top, which of course is actually mirrored here, the Maokai versus Fizz, and they set up the Maokai to actually be ahead of where we expected. With the roaming of the likes of Annie, if Wisdom's on point with the Evelynn, there is enough pressure to rotate through mid lane that maybe they can make it work. But as you mentioned, playing on a razor's edge against SK Telecom, do it at your own peril.
I just feel they're making the exact same gamble they made last game, and it just didn't pay off. So it's really going to be up to Gorilla. If they can kill Faker early, maybe they can pull this out and they can get the
Gorilla likes to pack up and leave, but they haven't been going ideally.
All right, Bang actually going to get stunned up here. Has to use the heal, has to use the flash. There we go, and PraY will get first blood in the 2v2. That is the danger of this Sivir and this Annie together, but looks like Wolf will pick one up in return. Gets the ignite.
Takes a nice little burst, but he was able to, be deceived until the last moment, as you mentioned. Smart of him to burrow, get the information that Wisdom was around at the cost of the dragon, but perhaps not the biggest concern 11 minutes into the game.
All right, Gorilla's here. There's the twisted advance. MaRin's going to dodge that. Fish goes down. There's the Tibbers. Though they have the follow-up. Smeb has no mana. Has to flash Arcane Smash. Gorilla gets the kill. No ignite needed.
So yeah, this certainly was not the smart tip by anyone for this series.
No, not at all. Well, they're standing in a ward there. Looks like there's a ward bug. They can't actually tell that KOO Tigers can see them right now. Gorilla does not have... Okay, there we go. And they're going to go in with the Solar Flare. TP's coming in. There's no actual really resistance here from the KOO Tigers. PraY's going to get caught out. Has the spell shield up. It goes down. But there is the Fizz with the fish. Kuro down. Can Kuro clean this up? They're all low. Smeb still here. They can maybe re-engage this, but Faker coming in for a possible dive. Just coming in from behind. 2 versus 5 in the bottom lane. And looks like Smeb and Kuro are going to have to go back 3 for nothing. That was a really weird vision.
They had the vision advantage though, Monty, from that vision bug, as you mentioned.
I don't know if they knew they were there or not. I don't see why they would be in range of a solar flare without the Tibbers up if that was the case.
Well, the scary thing to me was, let's say they did opt into it, they lost the trade 3-4 with the extra information. One thing I'll note, Maokai was the first to channel his teleport. It looked like they had some semblance of idea, but a massive win for SKT, and Kuro taking a lot of damage from Faker's Nashor's Tooth, Azir.
Wow, that was a quite odd fight. I mean, Gorilla gets caught out very early on, and they don't have a really good way to respond to it. Gorilla just dead before he can do anything. There's the TP channel.
And Maokai by far has the advantage with the teleport, but still, PraY is so low at this point. MaRin can just choose out Wisdom, knowing the other 2 members would fall. 3-0. We're only speculating. It looks like maybe there was no vision granted whatsoever by that ward as we come to live. And Kassadin's dead.
And so is Gorilla. Now MaRin going to pursue this under the tower. Easily taken with the help of the Chilling Smite. Faker actually pushing the Sand Soldiers through to secure the kill for himself. Not sure how Kassadin managed to die there with both summoners up.
More and more junglers are opting into this Evelynn versus Rek'Sai matchup, and I'm sorry, it does not work out. We're going to see the replay.
All right.
Hasn't used any CC yet. Okay, of course, the CC train, well known, my goodness.
Oh, wow, the knock-up into the Rek'Sai knock-up, just a perfect combo. That's been what's
25 CS down. So the CS difference, as you mentioned, is about the same, but the gold difference is that MaRin is going to be markedly ahead of his opponent. As KOO, once again, their only strategy this game has been camp MaRin at every opportunity.
Here they go. There's the Sivir ult pop. MaRin in a world of hurt. Can they give it over to Smeb? They can. One last punch to the fish's face.
Against the Azir, we're talking about after a certain point in the game, after about, say, 10 to 15 minutes. That's the first 15 minutes of the game where SKT often win and lose their games, or in general this season, win them all.
They want to go for Bang right here, but they don't really have the angle. Faker still there. TP coming in from SKT. Right behind him, they're going to dive. This Gorilla gets bounced around and nearly instantly killed. Bang pops the QSS to get out of the Tibbers. Wisdom here on the side, but 5 members of SKT still diving this turret. Double kill for Faker. MaRin going to fish himself another one. Wolf just standing there tanking the turret on the dive. Kuro there again too late. Faker with the priority on the rotation, gets to the turret, and they execute a very nice dive. And here comes the rest of it. Smeb will fall. Kuro has nowhere to go as Fizz MaRin completes the ace. Wow.
KOO getting out-rotated in game 1 was their death knell. Specifically, that was when Cassiopeia had her turret taken down and Viktor could walk as he pleases. Remember, this is a Kassadin getting out-rotated by SKT. Map pressure, having those pink wards up, just made them so well and so easy to take a massive team fight victory. They get that last outer turret. Once again, they have everything.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, it takes so long for Gorilla to get to Tibbers, and he has to drop it on Bang, who already has the QSS.
Yeah, Wisdom was in position, remember, anticipating a gank of their own from KOO. But SKT, they're everywhere at once, and they win easily.
Yeah, they do. So just pulling out for a moment. They see Kuro, Smeb, and Kuro absolutely cannot defend this 2v5. Also, Smeb just doesn't have a lot of MR yet at this juncture, so he gets shredded by this Stinger and the Corki rockets.
I don't even know what Kuro was hoping for in mobile power rankings. This team, since
Oh,
MSI.
jeez. Well, MaRin's already there after the Solar Flare lands and ignites. So MaRin just going to go on a little bit of a chase right here. Wisdom, versatility.
Smeb's all alone. There's a bit of combat. It's not going to mean much. The rest of the team is backing away. KOO's funneled into a choke against Faker.
And that means Kuro just has to run basically out of the fight right now. Smeb somehow gets away. PraY may not be so lucky with the Chilling Smite on him. He's going to be zipping away, but that's a kill for Bengi. And Kuro falling back to the base. Wisdom dying once again to the damage overtime from Fizz, creating a very beautiful corpse inside his own base. And SK Telecom has the chance just to turn onto this Baron and win the game.
And they give away picks that have really rocked other teams. Remember, Wisdom's Evelynn against CJ enters basically solo won game 2 off the back of his own ganking pressure. Smeb's going to teleport through, but this is going to be a titanic requirement to stop this Baron.
Well, it's not going to be enough. SKT easily turn onto him, but it was a desperate play to prevent this Baron from going down at an 11k gold deficit here at 25 minutes. SKT secure the Baron, just back out.
Compared to Smeb, who was picking up kills and was competitive in CS. Certainly not competitive in CS. 80 CS advantage here for the Fizz. We're going to see Bengi take a lot of damage.
Yeah, gets caught out, but Smeb landed the Solar Flare right on his head. Kuro gets pushed out, has to Zonius immediately. Faker Zoniusing under the turret as well. Faker going to fall, actually. Goes a little bit too deep as PraY picks up the kill streak on him.
The Rumble and Maokai.
Yeah, he's certainly diversifying in a very scary way. And the Rumble also not really, it was banned in game 1 of this series, but something that people are very concerned with. Smeb gets locked up by the Solar Flare. He is dead instantaneously. Wisdom, the next to fall in the front line. MaRin goes, but Face of the Mountain actually going to save him from the Ignite.
Of course, question how seriously SKT were taking that series. Speaking of serious, Wisdom is very dead.
Jeez, that damage coming out of MaRin is absolutely massive. Handing a red buff to him just to add that little more true damage to put him over the top. And now
SKT do not need any help to put over the top. They're definitely the John Cena of this league. They just do a lot of winning. They very rarely lose. And when they lose, pretty questionable.
All right, MaRin caught out by a Tibbers. Will he actually fall? No. We see the Emperor's Divide coming through defensively. Smeb tries to go in, but he falls. They get Faker with some burst, but not before losing the Maokai. And they can just keep on pushing right here. They still have the Corki to apply the damage to the turret.
They don't even have a minion wave prepped. In fact, there's a minion wave pressing against them in the top lane, but it doesn't matter when you're so far ahead. 16,000 gold at 30.
Here's the TP. MaRin just showing right back up. He's on top of the turret already, going back to dive PraY in the back line, forcing everybody off, giving Bang some more time. There's a fish, and there is a dead fish also. Wow, MaRin.
Wisdom's in a really nice flank
All
spot
right,
here.
they're going to go for it, but Bang just going to Valk over the wall. Bengi gets caught early. Smeb on top of him with that twisted advance, and they're actually going to turn this around. Faker uses the Emperor's Divide. There are the rockets coming in, but the cleanup from Bang. He's free autoing just behind the wall, and Smeb gets onto Bang, but there's the QSS once again, and a double kill from Bang, who is just so protected. Triple kill, quadra kill, and are they going to get the Penta? MaRin wants to hand it over. Gorilla gonna get fished. Gorilla gonna get the Penta for Bang. That is SK Telecom's first Penta of the season. They are answering it, our second Penta in the last couple of days, and Bang just handed that one on a silver platter. KOO was doing everything they could. They had to engage, they had to play aggressively, they tried, but Faker's wall made it so Bang just had free auto attacks, and that'll be the game. SK Telecom defeats the KOO Tigers 2-0.